Alright peeps, back on the Firebird. It's engine time. Finally got it all buttoned up. All the plugs for the antifreeze plugged off, oil pressures. Done that. Then we realized we needed to put the GM motor mounts in. So that's already done. Because we had to move them from this bolt pattern over here, move them forward on both sides. So then you take the ball joint out, loosen your back A-arm bolts, lower that down, compress the spring, all that fun stuff. Basically blow the suspension apart to get to 6 bolts. Now then rerouted the fuel line, you know, up and over. It works. So trying to keep all the original stuff in there instead of getting more stuff. And we got to extend the battery power wire somehow. Unless we move the battery, I don't know. Then just test fit it. I think the test fit goes good. We'll just leave it in there. Because everything else is kind of ran. That I can think of. It does have some new rotors on it and some pads, and I don't know, fairly new. They're shiny. Then all the sway bar links had to come out. All that stuff's just hand tightened down. You gotta get weight in the car to tighten it all down. So yeah, getting ready to do test fit, getting the wheels back on it, so we could get it back down on the ground and roll backwards to give it some room. Then we had to rob the thermostat, sender off the other engine, the oil pressure off the other engine, and probably the alternator if it works. I'm not sure if that'll work or not yet. Then if it don't, I have one that somewhere back under the pile. I think it came off a fork truck. It was on my square body for a while. It's only a 60 amp. Should be good enough for that. There's no AC or nothing in it. And we ripped off manifolds. This is going headers. Did prime it yesterday. There is still oil in it. Oh, we gotta find motor mount bolts. That's what I need to look for. And we gotta block off the return hose because this car doesn't have a return on it. No big deal. So yeah, back to you here in a minute when something exciting happens. I guess I gotta look for some small motor mount bolts. I'll take them out of the big block there and match it up with something in my bolt bin. Alright, here we go, peeps. Test fit. Test fit 1. Hopefully it stays in this time. And it's thunder busting outside. Yep, clear that thing. Alright, go in. Alright, stop. Go down some. See where we're at. Should have cleaned all the exhaust. Hold on. Got plenty of room. Alright, stop. It needs to go back some. Like that way? Back towards firewall. Alright, stop. Put it down. Hold on. Go down some. Whoa!
A little too fast.
Yeah. Okay. I still got my fingers. Down. There's all kinds of room back here for activities. Alright, hold on. Need bolts.
I barely turned it when I did that too.
Yeah, it's touchy, it's old. Alright, let's see where we're at with this. Get a light. Go up. I think. Or do you need to go down? I'll go up just a hair. Alright, hold on. Actually move it some. Alright, maybe do go up. Or stop. Put it down. It's raising too much. I wonder if think. I have to actually put a jack under the oil pan. Let's see what the other side's got.
Other side's more adjustable, so that's probably better idea to do that. Is this the one wanting to lift up?
Lift it up. I think. Yeah.
More?
Yeah. Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Let's see where we're at. Oh wow, we gotta go way down. What the heck happened here? Put it down again. Maybe it's not down far enough. Oh yeah, keep going. Alright, stop. New motor mounts, you gotta love them. They're not broke in yet. If they were old, worn out, falling out rubber mounts, I think it would just fall into place. This is gonna fit in there. Something maybe can't see nothing.
Does this thing need angled forward more?
Trying to get it to. Where's the bolt? Why don't you go in there? So I got old worn out motor mounts. Jack it up. I didn't realize it was leaning that bad.
I mean, it's leaning because of this.
Oh, yeah, that might
It moved forward.
Alright, hold on. Oh man, we're gonna be fighting this. Alright, when we get some progress, I'll get back to you. We've got to fight these new motor mounts a little bit because everything's super tight. Nothing wants to give on it, so give us a few minutes here. Alright, both motor mount bolts are in. Had to fight them. New bushings in the motor mounts are always fun. Got one header to fit. Then we got, a ratchet strap to hold it in place. The other header's got to go up from underneath. We'll do that later. And everything looks like it's going to clear. Fuel line. May have to move it forward a little bit. Don't know yet because it looks like it should have been moved forward about 2 inches, really. I'll just have to put a longer hose on it. And then, yeah, that's about it. I mean, when you use new motor mounts, it just seems like it fights you. There's not a lot of give in them. Steering all cleared, of course. Nothing crazy happened there. Just had to fight the bolts. So I guess, yeah, next thing would be we could bolt some stuff on top or put the transmission in. Right now the jacks are under the Chevelle. That's where it's been for a while. So I might have to get that one permanently bolted in so we can use the jack over here. Or just old school with a jack. That's always fun. Alright, I don't know. I'll update you when we get more stuff going. The only thing I don't like is you can stuff your whole head up in there. But we had the suspension apart, so maybe it'll settle over time. But it's got the, I don't know what you want to call it, it's super high in the front. I think the other engine was probably heavier. I don't know, something I guess we need to Google and find out. Alright, maybe bolt some more stuff on, I don't know, we'll see. I don't know what we're going to do next on this turd. But hopefully it moves under its own power soon. Be nice. Alright peeps, it's time to put the transmission in the car. I think since the last clip, I don't even know what was on that last clip, when we put the engine in, it's been like maybe 2 months. I really don't know. But so it's going to get finished in this episode anyway. So we got transmission. Once that is in the car, drive shaft, there's not much underneath to do once that's in there. And just all the stuff on the top. Did test fit the battery. Took it out of here. Stuck it over here. It fits. I just got to figure out a hold down. Right now it's sitting on some, I don't know, like a mud flap. That is out of like a, I think a 2002 Chevy truck. But I got to take the header back off it. We just test fitted it. Give me more room for the transmission. And I did the starter wire. Got it with a fusible link. It did have a wire on it. That was plugged into something else with no tape around it and with a little tiny wire. It was ready to burn down the rig. But this engine hasn't ran, I'm trying to think when I sold my Camaro. I think it was around probably 2020 or 21. Probably 2020, because I bought the Monte Carlo afterwards, and because it was, the Camaro was already gone, so somewhere in there. So it's, I did do some priming on it, so I'll probably prime it again. That was already been months ago. Plus I primed it wrong, I guess. But all the wires seem to retch everything since I moved the battery. The starter wires, if they don't retch, I think I got some other cables. Might even use the one off the Black Cloud over there. Yeah, because I used a different one. Speaking of Black Cloud, in the last clip, you didn't get to see it with the hood on. It's got the hood on it now. I'll show you that real quick. It's all one color. Nice. Very nice. Yeah. Yep-er-ree there, Jim Bob. Yep. Alright. So, take the header off, sky this thing. I need a lift. Yeah, I need a lift. But, crawl around on the belly and, wrestle this thing in there. Because I think I got to slide the jack under, the transmission under, then lift the transmission up onto the jack. Because my jack stands do not go high enough. I think that's how I got to do it. I'm not sure yet. But of course I'm going to try it with it on the jack under the car. Hopefully, I don't know, probably won't work. But I think that's how I got it out. Don't remember. Because that's going to be a mess because it's full of transmission fluid if I got to get that on the jack under the car. Alright, let's sky it. And I got to charge my battery. Again. Yes, all the time. Because it's 15 years old. Alright peeps, the car is skied. And the transmission slid right under the car without having to do it under the car. I put it on the jack outside the car and rolled it right in between there and it went. So I just got done snugging up the motor mount bolts. Got the transmission lines, well, they're somewhere in there laying in place. The vacuum for the transmission laying in place. And don't know if I got to use any of this stuff yet. I might have to take it off the other transmission. I mean, they're both turbo 350s, it's just the other one's completely different bell housing. So just going to jack it up and should just fit. And this one's already has the ears cut off of it on both sides. I guess they cut them off to get it in the Chevelle with the other engine and headers, I guess. But I do got to change, it's got rubber mounts on the motor. So I got to change this mount. I think this is polyurethane. So I got a rubber one, brand new. It came with a kit I bought, and I'll put that on there because I think, yeah, that's going to allow, the engine's going to twist. That's not going to twist, which will, like, you know, shatter the transmission housing. So got to change that out. That's got to wait till it's up in the car and bolted down and all that fun stuff. But that's it so far. I mean, I took the header out that we test fitted. It's pretty close on that side to the exhaust, so I took the clamps off. If this side is as close as the other side, what I'll do, I'll get some long bolts and see if I can pull this pipe out a little bit. If that don't work, I don't know, because I don't need a lot. And there's no movement. Well, I could take the pipes loose back here. It is separated right there too. Take them loose. But I don't need a lot, so hopefully this one's just as close. If not, I guess it's gonna have to go to the exhaust shop. Oh, I just crashed. So yeah, that's where we're at. So I'm gonna jack this up and see if it'll barf itself into place. I don't see why not. Might have to take that speedo reduction thing, whatever you call it, off. That's what I could take this off, take the little gear out of this one, take the other transmission, take the gear out of it, and put in this one. It'll match the speedo. Brilliant. Because I think this thing leaks. I've got silicone on it, all kinds of garbage, and it's still leaked. I think it was the only place on this transmission that leaked. Should take that off now. Yeah, might just do that before it's up in there. Yeah, sounds like a plan. But I'm pretty sure all that should just fit because they're the same kind of transmission. There's colors on there. There's like a green, purple. I don't know what they are. And then you look it up and tells you what gear it's for the rear end, I think, and all that grooviness stuff. Yeah, that should just plop right up in there. I gotta find a starter. It's a 168 tooth flywheel, so I gotta dig around the starter pile. I think I can't remember what it was for it, but I'll find something. All right, let's change the speedo gear thing. All right, we're not going to change that because on the other one it is, some unknown reason, very super different. I do have some of these somewhere. That one was like a white gear, so we'll just have to test on it, and if it's messed up we'll have to change it. But I can't find that pack of them I had, or not really a pack, I had just saved them over the years out of junk transmissions. So we'll take that, I guess it's a reducer to get the gear thing off and put this thing up in the car. The transmission is there. The cross member is just there. It needs bolted down. I've got 4 bolts in the bell housing. Waiting on a dipstick tube for the other side because the short one I had ran into the headers, and I tried to take that one in a longer flexi one I had to make that work, and that didn't work. So I got the Pontiac, well, I got a different dipstick tube up in there now. For some reason it doesn't work either, so I don't know what that's out of. So the Pontiac one, I think I can make it work if the one I ordered don't work. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and hook everything up on this side, the shifter cable, which is not much there to do, and put this header and stuff in. And it looks like we should have cleaned the block where the header goes first before it was in the car, but oh well. But clean that up, get all this here done, then put the header in. Because this side, the drive shaft, go ahead and do that. Do like a bunch of stuff that we could do without the other side. Then we'll do like the carburetor distributor. Well, no, I can't do the distributor until I get the header starter on. I'll have to dig for a starter so I can bump it over. But do as much as we can without having to fool with that side. That's about all I can do right now until I get a part, which there's still plenty to do because it's probably going to take me a while to find a starter. I think I have one, but I don't know if it's any good. But I gotta look up, make sure that's the one we need. And go from there. I got the transmission lines there in there, and this transmission is still leaking. Wow, from yesterday. So that means that dipstick tube is no good. Oh, torque converter bolts. Need to do that too. Yeah, and this lens is very dirty, like everything else around here. Alright, so I don't know which part I want to do first. Maybe the shifter. gotta find a little clip. Looks like it's even leaking up in there. Always something. You start messing with something that hasn't been messed with forever. It just keeps things undercoated as you drive. It just blows it all back over the floor and it'll never rot again. Might catch fire, so you might have to take like some stain washers with you. A couple of them. Have them like mounted like on each side of the seats and in the back, so whoever's with the car in there with you, everybody drives a stain washer. Fogs the thing down if it lights off. Oakley dokley, neighbors. That's where we're at. Let's do that. I don't know. Just start tightening something down. Alright, I got this header. It's not tight, but it's test fitted. Everything clears fine. The exhaust is going to need stretched. So I'm not sure how that's going to work yet, but made some spacers for this bolt for the power steering that holds this bracket. I think most people leave it off. I'm going to try to use it. And if you ever put headers on, get the longer bolts. These work way better than the shorties they give you. Definitely if you got like a really thick flange down there. Makes it way gooder. The only thing is, like, if you got like a tight spot, you might have to use a short one, but this one fit, even though it was pretty tight right there. So they just need tightened from the inside out. And I'm going to do that, and I gotta, I guess, find the spark plugs. Right now they're just blocked off. I don't even think they're tight. No. Then I got two bell housing bolts back there. And wow, that looks horrendous. I wonder how I had that ran. I have to figure that out. The transmission vacuum. But these headers are from I think Jegs or something. I don't know what the number is. So I guess do that and hook the power steering back up. These spacers are from like a front caliper off like a square body, or I guess a regular, I guess you can even off a Camaro, whatever. The little things go inside down. That's what this is too. I like using them for little spacers. Lock washer and a washer in there, and should be fine. Pretty sure I've seen a lot of people just delete that bracket, and then your power steering is just kind of flopping around. I'll go hook them up too. Need to do that before I put that on there, but it's coming along. So that's where we're at. Do as much as I can to this side, because like I said, the other side waiting on a dipstick tube, if it's even going to be right. If not, I'll rig up the one that's on that transmission somehow. Alright, back at it, I guess. Tighten some bolts. Might use a probably a 1/4 inch ratchet, because I don't think I'm going to get 3/8 in there. The sockets are too thick. Cool. Oakley dokley, this header is in there. The dipstick tube is chrome. It doesn't get you home, but it's in there. It fits better than anything I've tried, and it does. I'm not sure if it's leaking. I'll have to run it and find out. But fuel system, basically I don't like this. I had this set up on my Camaro and it just boiled over. So I'll put like a heater hose underneath of it to block some of the heat. And I gotta run this heater hose. Gotta find a top radiator hose. This is the one off the Pontiac. I might just cut it and then let it bend itself where it needs to go. I can't find nothing else. Belts are tight. Alternators hooked up. I got 3 grounds hooked up. And there's no water in it yet because I gotta get some coolant stuff fixed. Distributors, you know, eyeballed. I got the eyeball meter about where it should be, I guess. And these are just junk wires because one's melted. These headers need some massaging. We'll do later. And put better wires on it later. But I got to cover this up, keep it from the heat. I don't like that fuel line there, but it's what we got for now, unless we decide to go with a Camaro, because what we should have done is got a Camaro. I mean, we could bend it ourselves, but it's a little harder to bend 3/8, but you get a pre-bent one, it goes on this side. I bought one for mine, it fit Butamus. And fan clutch is on, all that stuff. I mean, the headers are all snug-legged down. Got the old plugs that was in the engine in it for now. Really, I don't know, we gotta look up, we need short spark plugs. I've never heard of such thing, but I think they make something. Then this thing doesn't have a breather, like, well, a PVC valve. This is how I ran it. I had this engine in a 56 Bel Air and then my Camaro, so that's how I ran it with those covers, and they've been on there a long time. And I think that's about up here. I hooked up all this. I spent a couple hours looking for a bracket for the throttle. That's about as good as that gets. It's for like a quadribog, but it works. But I don't know what I had on this engine back in the day. I can't figure out. I'd have to find some old pictures and see what bracket was on there, but this one works. Pretty sure that's where it's bolted before. I'm not running a kick down, because this transmission, you gotta, if you want to downshift, you gotta do it manually. You need power steering fluid in it. I primed it and all that before I dropped the distributor in. I primed it while I was out on that little stand. It was carrying like 60 pounds of pressure. I'll show you exhaust work. This turned out alright. So stretched the exhaust like I said I was going to do. Oh, I might need a light. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, stretched it. I don't have no gaskets in here yet or clamps. It's just here for now. And this side is not, I'm not super happy with this side. For some reason the header is practically into the floor. And I had to really hoss this exhaust to get it in there. Same thing, no gaskets in here. I took the clamp off there. Then back here, had to move this clamp because it was hitting the floor because it was up like this. And the big thing is it's hitting the seat belt bolt right there. I mean, this will get it to where we can move it for a while, because winters are coming and I need to move it. And that's, I don't know what it sounds like yet, but this thing has 0 mufflers. It sounds like a big old pulpwood truck. I don't know why you would not put at least something like a Flowmaster or a cheap Flowmaster, something. But it's just straight pipe. And the cross member's all bolted in. Went with the rubber transmission mount because we got rubber mounts up there. Polyurethane you can't use, because you'll break, the engine will twist, the transmission won't twist, and you'll basically crack the transmission housing. Bad stuff there. Did tighten down the lower control arms here. This ball joint, I can't get the cotter key in. I think I broke off the cotter key that was in it. Then I think the sway bar links need tightening, and that's about it up here. All the weight is on the suspension, so I did all that while the jack stands were on it. Actually, I jacked the back up, jacked it up, put more weight on the front, and tightened all that down. Made a little bit gooder weight on the front. The transmission shifter's all up. Starter, to get the header out, you gotta have the starter clear out of it. So I had a jack under here, stuck the starter on the jack while it was still wired up, and fitted the header and stuff. That starter is a probably forever old. I mean, it'll crank it, but when it disengages, it makes all kinds of weird noises in there. It just wore out, but it'll work. I got like mad hours combing this shop for just dumb stuff. Like, I found the starter, and I didn't realize I put a bigger flywheel in it, so it's the 168 tooth. It's not the smaller flywheel, so I had to go with a bigger starter, which I had. I think I have both. Then, like, the fan clutch bolts, little stubs there, had to actually rob them off my 383 over there because I could not find anything. But after I got it all together, I found stuff, because I needed the studs for the carburetor. Robbed them off, I think, the 383. Found those later. But the fan studs, I haven't found another set of them. I think I got them, I just don't know where they're at. Then we robbed these are wires that was on the big block, but they're for a small block. The one was melted, so this will work perfect because these ones are going to melt because I got to, like I said, massage some of this stuff. And what else did I look for? And it's got the transmission cooler out of the Chevelle in it. It's up here. I mean, it was already had the Chevelle fluid in it, so I bought a new one for it, the Chevelle. That's all tight-lated in there. I don't know if I'm crazy about how I ran it, but it'll work for now. I think sometimes people run them through here. I didn't really want to do that. This thing is chewy. Like, it's numb, chewy, numb. But it'll work. The old fuel line's blocked off there. I blocked off the return, ran it. I had a little stubby here, but it was hitting the steering stuff. So I put a longer hose on it so I could tie it up there to keep it out of the way. And the power steering I'm not happy with yet. I might have to take it. That's why I'm not putting fluid in it yet. Because this is just, there's no good way to tie it to anything there. So I might redo that up there. The other line, I don't like it either, but I don't have anything else. I'm not sure what else would work there. I've tried to like bend it different ways, and I don't know. Because the other engine, I think the power steering actually sat higher. But it'll work for now. That's all that matters right now. Just get it running. Don't get it right. Just get it running. You can go out and rip on it. Hopefully it's got more power than the other engine, because the other engine was a dog. It wouldn't even spin the one tire. That tells you something. Hopefully this one does. It used to in the Camaro, but I don't know what gears is in this car. My Camaro started out with 342s with a posi. Ended up with 373 posi, 12 bolt. So maybe we'll put the old Camaro rear under this later on. I don't know, but it had a noise in it. It needs looked at. That's why I took it out. You know, it did $125 with the noise. Just got louder. Just turned the music up. Allegedly $125. Alright, that's about all the updates down here. I mean, I'm pretty happy with the way I had to bend these further down as they were up into the starter, because on the Pontiac, the starter's over here. I can't put the shield on because Pontiac, the starter's over here. I have a shield, but apparently the shield only fits the small bolt pattern flywheel because the starter's too far out. No big deal. Run it like that. That's how it was on the Chevelle. I don't know. I probably should put something over these so they don't rub. Oh, then I fixed I glued the fan shroud together. This is top and bottom. I did some really crazy glue there, and it's a piece of coolant container on top and bottom, and glued it. That turned out awesome. And you know, put magnets on your transmission that catch stuff. They've been on there for like 14 years. It's been probably that since I changed the fluid. You think it's still good? I don't know, but we're gonna run it. I did dump out like, I think like 2 or 3 quarts trying to change dipstick tubes, so we've got to check that. And that's about it down here. This header fits really nice. Room in between the floor and the header. Like I said, over there's probably a hair. I'm pretty sure it's going to rattle back here. If it wasn't for that, back there, it'd probably be like butymous. Probably wouldn't rattle or nothing. But yeah, most of this has just been looking for stuff all over the place. I guess I need one of them cool cameras to do time lapse. You get to see me doing, you know, laps around the garage looking for stuff, digging through stuff, yelling at everything, trying to figure out where I'll put stuff. The carburetor is off of the square body over there. When I first bought it, it had a very weak 350 in it. Reliable, no power whatsoever. And that was on it. I think I stuck it on the Chevelle to run it to a couple car shows last year. Just rigged it up, and it made that Chevelle a dog. Like, it took like 150 horsepower out of that thing. It's only a 600. But for this engine, it'll be fine. That's what was on it before, 600. I still have that carburetor, but it needs rebuilt. It's like 25 years old, never been touched. And this one's probably old too, but it fires up and runs, I guess. We'll do that. I'll let you listen to the rippings. We'll listen to that for a minute. Tighten the battery up. But I'll try to find the ground wire to the Pontiac. It was on it before. Couldn't find it, so I found this one. It had, you know, the main battery will hook up. It had two other grounds. So I hooked them up, body ground, and put one on the frame. So then I finally found the one that was on the car. One ground wire going to the alternator, and that was it. So this should be way gooder than that was before. So I'm pretty sure that's all the updates. Like I said, I still got to find some stuff. I don't know where the top radiator hose went to this engine when I got it, because it's been almost 5 years since I got this engine back. I probably had it, but you know, I moved everything out of the small garage up there to this one, and I don't know where nothing's at. I'm still digging for stuff. I'm not super organized, but we're getting there. And this engine has double roller timing chain. I put a big rubber, I think, one-piece gasket on the oil pan. I think rubber valve cover gaskets, intake, and all that stuff a long time ago. So hopefully that holds up for a while. It needs the oil changed, but that'll come later. So this is not going to hit the road this winter. So it'll be just peachy. Peachy keen for now. At least I can move it up to the carport up there by the house if I need to get it out here for a while. Oh, and that power steering belt is like 25 years old. I bought it when I bought the car, the Camaro. Yeah, it's ancient. They were good belts. I think it's like a Goodyear Gatorback. No idea if they still make them, but they were awesome belts. Alright, let's fire this beast up. Whether they put you up front or put you in the back. Because the exhaust is hooked up, but it's going to leak like crazy down here by the collectors. But we'll put you back here maybe. Like I said, this thing's horrendously loud. I'll put you down here in the chair. Is that good, right? There's a tractor. And there's a tip. Alright, let's rip. Go with 3 pumps. Too long. There is no antifreeze in it, and it still sounds like a pulpwood truck, believe it or not. I don't know if it still is. Well, that's weird. The clock only works if the key's on. Not quit. That was working. It's charging. And it has oil pressures. It says it's fuel and gas. Don't think so. Don't sound bad there. I gotta get hoses on it so we could take it for a rip up the driveway. But there it is. The only other problem is it has a taller intake. I don't even know if an air cleaner is going to fit in with a stock hood, so I would really like to put the stock hood back on it. So we're going to have to try to find a low air cleaner and cross our fingers if it works. The gas is getting old, so we need to get some coolant in it so we can run it for a little bit. Get some of that out and put some fresh in it. Probably use the non-ethanol stuff. It's a little more expensive, but it'll last a little longer. But actually, I couldn't hear the collectors leaking that much, but I guess you probably can because there's no exhaust mufflers. So it's just straight loud. Alright, I don't know if I'll end it here or not. I'll let you know. I'm kind of, like, other than the hoses, it's basically done for now. It's got a bunch of stuff that needs tied up out of the way, and the headers need massaged and cleared for the plugs, plug wires, and the plugs. The one plug is like into the header. Never seen nothing like it. It's probably the worst set of headers to fit spark plugs on, unless we looked, I don't know, we gotta look the part number up. This might have been for angle plugs, because these are horrendous for spark plugs. Like, the one is basically touching the header. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Like I said, try to keep this cheap. Trying to find all the stuff so I can find around the shop here. I could probably, like I said, to find flywheel, motor mounts, bunch of bolts we needed. Probably several $100s of just saving on parts forever, and finally used them. Like the flywheel, I have no idea what it's off of. No clue. It was here. It was the only one I had for small block 350. Of course, it'd probably fit on a big block too. Oh, that's into the header. Almost melted my lone wolf here. I used that, so if you're by yourself and you got you a lone wolf, as some YouTubers say, lone wolf 2000, hook it up to your starter, turn the key on, find top dead center by yourself. So, you know, bump, 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 that's how you do that by yourself. So that's still hooked up from the other day. And believe it or not, that worked the first try. Usually, sometimes the distributor's still out, but drop that sucker in there. I used my eyeball meter, and there it was. I put a time light on it because, you know, again, needs coolant. Well, I'm going to dig around in here, see if I can find maybe a better hose or just cut that one and make something for the other pipe. So, the Firebird Formula beast will be movable soon. After, I don't know, we tore it apart back in March. It is now October. This a lot of stuff comes up. There's a shot. There we go. Num num num. I'll let you know what goes on from here. If we end it here, I don't know yet, because underneath is done and everything. Alright, I don't know. Let me dig back here in my pile of stuffs. Well, peeps, that'll do it for this episode on the Firebird Formula 77. So, just checked. I don't think I had a word of the show. And I done forgot what I was going to use. Perfect. But there's no antifreeze in it yet. I don't have any for it. But I did get all the plumbing done. I rigged up this hose with another hose. Bent the fuel line out of the way a little bit. Put a little shield there. And the Pontiac 350 hose, just cut it down, used a piece of cut for like a little, it's kind of rubbing there. It'll work to get it, to move it around, start it and stuff. But it's pretty much done. Other than just a little tweaking when we put it on the road. So, just got to get down on the pause. But it's like, it's hovercraft or Back to the Future, flying car. But a few things I don't like, but we'll have to fix. It may just kind of sit like this through the winter, get it down off the stands and put it back in the corner for now. So, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of little tweaking you have to do to drive this thing. Still needs like rear brake hose and some brake line stuff. They work. It's just not pretty looking. And there it is. It's ready to do hopefully a one-wheel burnout. If I do a burnout, I'll show a little clip of that later. Probably just a little quick bloop. If we get it that far, we gotta get antifreeze in it before we do something like that. But Yep. Still don't remember what the word shed was going to be. Guess I'll have to pick something else. I have no idea what you want it to be this time. Let's go with Mega. Mega? I don't know if I used that yet or not. If I do, you have to let me know. I don't think so. Kind of lost track. Let's go with Mega. I had something different, but I don't remember what it was. But yeah, let's see. It is purdy. The inside needs cleaned out. I've loaded it up with stuffs. I'm going to throw a tack in it eventually. But the wires on the, I was just looking at the wires on the tack are not purdy. Got to redo them. I think we're going to go with this one because I can actually angle it. As you can see, it's not, because the oil pressures and stuff is right in the center. So we're going to put it here where the clock is because it doesn't really work. I mean, it was moving earlier, but more likely it'll stop. Put the hood back on. Probably it stays in here in the garage. It'll probably just sit like this through the winter, like I said. If we got to put it in the carport, throw the hood back on it. But there it is, peeps. It should move again. I never did test the transmission, but it was in the Chevelle, so it should work. All I gotta do is check the fluid level. I lost some changing dipsticks. But this is gonna do it for this episode. So I don't know when the next time I'll have one going because it's getting to be winter, and I gotta move firewood and a whole bunch of other stuff. You know, house stuff. But we got a lot to do on the Chevelle. I'll work on it here and there when I have time. On the black cloud struck again. Over there, the water pump blew out of it. Kind of expecting that one because it didn't look super healthy. Took it for a little drive, probably the first drive, and the water pump started leaking. This thing doesn't want to give up. But it's one of the weep holes. Got to order one of them up. Maybe I'll do a short video of water pump. I don't know, it's not going to be interesting because it's just a water pump. Unless something else breaks on it. But then, you know, I might be doing another engine swap, so I might not have to do a water pump. Just put another engine in it. Kind of running out of engines. I got one left. And I don't want to do it, but after that one, all I got's LS engines. I want to keep it old school if I can, because, you know, it looks like it's out of the 80s. Alright, peeps. That's going to do it for the Firebird. Catch you next time. Pop them wheelies. Num num. Womba. Womba. Later.